Hi, I'm Katie and welcome to another bookish adventure. So I'm doing my very first book on haul. Well, at least first book on haul actually on YouTube. When I moved into this place, I had a massive culling of books. I really got rid of like so many. Some of them I did keep hold of for sentimental reasons, but I did get rid of a lot of them. So I'm talking like the Twilight Saga, the Fallen series by Lauren Kate, I want to say. And so many others, so many books that I bought way back in my teens that I thought I would read. And I kind of thought, well, you know, if I was still interested in them, then I would read them on Kindle. So kicking off my unhaul, the entire, and this isn't even the entire Morganville Vampire series, because I cannot pick up 15 books in one go. Yep, I am gonna get rid of all of these 15 books. Bye-bye. To be honest, I definitely kept hold of these for sentimental reasons, that is for sure. These were one of the first really proper long, like 15 books. This is one of the first, like the longest series I ever read as a teen. Next to that was the House of Night Vampire series, which that book I do want to revisit because there was a lot of mythology in there that was really good and was really good from the get-go. These, however, these were really tough to get into. They were good, but they weren't amazing, especially not compared to the House of Night. And probably from about book 6, Carpe Corpus, it really, and maybe even beyond that, I'm not actually sure, like the longer the series went on, the better it got. But there's no way I'm gonna slog my way through 15 books just to get to the back end where things really got interesting. So much more thought came into just everything to do with them. So goodbye, Morganville Vampires by Rachel Caine. Next up, The Witches of the East by Melissa De La Cruz. I'm gutted that I have to say goodbye to these 3 books, Witches of East End, Serpent's Kiss, and Winds of Salem. I absolutely loved her vampire series, which I've kept because I do want to reread those again. The Blue Blood vampires, again, a lot of mythology went into it, how like vampires, like where they're originally from, being fallen angels, and in this case there is loads of Norse mythology based around these witches, and I thought, oh my god, yes, this would be brilliant. It would be like the vampire books, amazing. And the series came out, which I loved, and I was gutted got cancelled, and it was really nothing like that. It wasn't nearly as much fun, it wasn't as enjoyable, and unfortunately the series got cancelled, so we could never really, I felt like the Norse mythology part was kind of starting to come into it, and I feel like it was so underused in these books. I was really gutted, so I'm definitely not going to revisit these. There's definitely more chance of me revisiting the vampire books than there are of these witch ones, which I'm gutted about because I don't think there are enough witch books out there. Next up on the chopping block, the Infinite Days series by Rachel Myself. So I've literally only just read these last year, I think it was, but these were a trilogy of books, namely the first one I'd had since I was like 13 or 14 or something ridiculous. It's taken me this long to read them. I mean, I did say in my review they were really good, they were better than I'd expected, and I still enjoyed them now. I probably would have enjoyed them more then when vampires was such a huge thing. I did still enjoy this. It was an interesting take about a vampire wanting to get their mortality back and sort of the repercussions of that happening and others around them and other vampires, and how that sort of magic shitstorm create a magic shitstorm. And I really liked that it wasn't just about her and her sort of love and relationship. There was a lot more to do with her past. It was really good, but I'm never going to reread these, and if I do, it'll be a Kindle read, which is a shame because I'm so in love. I'm reluctant to get rid of this, which is why I didn't really want to get rid of them in the first place, because this is one of the first books I ever owned with a hardback with a dust jacket that was just so gorgeous. I now have one other Neil Gaiman, so I can at least look at that with loving eyes, but I don't want to get rid of it because of that reason. Next up is the film version of Alice in Wonderland. I think I was given this, I don't really remember buying this. If I did, it was probably really cheap from a charity shop or something, and I read it in like a day. It was nice to like read it on like as I'd seen the film, but I'm never gonna reread like this version. I'm gonna reread the proper one. Next is another such an old book, and again this was a nostalgia reason. Steampunk. This is really cool, I will not lie. It is very short stories, it's an anthology, and it's really like lots of different ones, and this was the first time I ever read anything by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. And no, I'd already read Garthnix before then, so I was excited to read it, and they really are different. Like some are actually like proper stories. There's one in here which is a comic. Yeah, there's one that's like, yeah, a comic book instead, and it was really cool, but I can't imagine I'm ever really gonna go back to it, which is a shame. I had at the time looked around to find other steampunky books, but never really did that caught my eye. So I am sad to get rid of this one, but I'm never gonna come back to it. And my final culling is Charlaine Harris. So when I moved, I had read and I got rid of the Sookie Stackhouse series. I had read all of them. I just couldn't remember if I'd read that one or not, and this is the last one. One of these I think is the last one. I can't remember now. I don't know, but one of these I think is the last one. I'm not even 100% sure, but I think I kept the second to last. I couldn't remember basically if I'd read them. Turns out I had definitely read the second to last one. In a previous video, I said that I'd never DNF'd a series. I DNF'd this series by no fault of my own. It was an unconscious DNF. I basically was bored as anything and I really couldn't bring myself to come back to it. But I watched the end of the series and my friend read them and she told me what happened. And it's really unlike me to do that because I have to know what happens. But the problem with these books I was finding, I'd be getting halfway and she'd be like going to the library to get a book and I'd be like, what is actually happening? Like seriously, what has happened in this book? The TV series was so much more fun, so much more fast-paced. I think the first 3 books up until the witch book were amazing. They were really good. And then, I don't know, it just got bogged down with vampire politics, and although she was like helping to solve mysteries, I don't know, it just didn't seem serious enough or interesting enough. And it was a shame that it really kind of went, ah. Which brings me to Midnight Crossroad. So this was a gift and I ummed and ahed about it, and then my friend read it at work and she was like, it's okay. And I think I'm still not ready to read her work again after that. I am aware there's only like 2 or 3 books, so I probably will read these on Kindle. I've watched the first series and I've really enjoyed that, and I probably shouldn't have watched that because I'm probably now not going to enjoy this, but hopefully I will and it'll be fine. But I just feel like I'm going to read this in like Kindle form. Like I don't think my friend at work has even read the second one. Like she really wasn't that fussed by it, which is a shame because, you know, it wasn't just vampire supernatural, it was werewolf, it was witches, it was like demon fays. Wait, were demons in it? I can't even remember now, it was so long ago I read them. Were tigers, where like there was so much actually threw into this. It is insane that it can be boring. So that is it for my unhaul. I'm very reluctant to let go, but I'm like, space, you need space, and I'm not gonna go back to those books. If you're wondering what I'm gonna do with them, I'm gonna take them to charity shops in town. It's gonna take me several runs to get them down. Remember when I moved, I think I had 4 trips where I just had all these books piled in a rucksack, and it got to like the 3rd and the woman was like, and I was like, I got 1 more trip. I swear to God, I was like, I got 1 more trip, and she was like, okay. Like literally, she was looking at me coming through that door like, get out, like we don't have space for this. And I was like, but I have bags full of books. Yeah, I will be kindly donating them to charity, and hopefully, yeah, they will all find a nice new home. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me, what books have you like unhauled recently? Can you unhaul? Like this is only my 2nd ever unhaul in my life, in my proper reading career as it was. Yeah, this is only my 2nd one and I'm 27, and I really got into reading when I was like 15, 16. In like the last 10 years, I've only done 2. So I don't know how often people DNF. I think it's because I don't just buy books. I mean, I do, but I know I really like them. I know I struggle to get around to reading them, but I know that I'm still interested in them. So I'm not one of these people who just like has copious amounts of books just because, and then I'm like, I gotta get rid. If you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button, show me your thumbs. Your support means the world to me. And of course, comment below related to DNFs or unhauls, anything you want. You can tell me how your week's been going if you fancy. And if you're new, hi, welcome, join me and hit that subscribe button. Plenty more videos to catch up on, and as always, weekly reading vlogs. I will see you next Monday. Have a good weekend.